Assalamu alaikum. Greetings and salam, dear viewers. Thank you for joining us live on Living with Purpose. Today, we are very honored to have with us Woking star defender Moussa Diarra. Football fans watching today will know Moussa is a big favourite at Kingfield. He is one of the best centre backs in the league. He is known for his strength in the air and tackling ability. Just to give you some amazing stats about Moussa, he has won a remarkable 236 aerial duels, the most any player has won this year. He has also won the second highest most challenges in the league this season with 376 tackles. Just to add a bit more, he has also previously won the best player of the season with Hampton and Richmond, scoring 14 goals and 7 assists in one season from defence. Brother Musa, these are quite extraordinary stats. I hope you don't mind me saying I'm naming you the Virgil van Dijk of the conference. Our panelists for today, for those of you watching, are Brother Tabraiz and Shorkut, best known for their talking ability. Without further delay, I'll pass on to Brother Shorkut, who is a good friend of Musa, and we'll be interviewing him.
Assalamu alaikum, Musa. How are you?
Alaikum salam. I'm good, and you?
Good, alhamdulillah. Thanks, Jazakallah, for giving us your time to come on board with Living with Purpose today and sharing your experience with the youngsters, with the community who can benefit from your footballing expertise, inshallah. How's the lockdown going for you anyway?
Yeah, it's alright. No, it's not so bad, I'm just at home with my family, with my kids. And, I just go out to do some running, some sports, and most of the time I'm just in at home.
MashaAllah. So, your fitness, how you keeping up? Just running, and there's no gym, so you must be training indoors now.
Yeah, I'm just training. Most of the time I'm training outdoor, outside. I go to the football pitch, do some running, do some exercise, press up, push up, all the all the things I can do without the gym.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
And how's it all this affecting everything? Because now you're in France, so we've not met. It's been a good few months now. You left Woking over 2 months ago now,
Yeah,
almost
well, end of March.
end of March now. Yeah, so we're uh, May now, like second week of May. And when do you reckon you'll be back in Woking and training again? Have you spoken with your coaches or your team management?
I spoke with the manager this morning as well, and at the moment, even the clubs, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when football's going to be back, when the fans going to be back. So it's a difficult situation. Some speaking about September, some October. We
Mm.
don't even know. Maybe at the end of the year. At the moment, we can't really try to find
Yeah.
a date.
It must be
Yeah.
very difficult for yourself because you actually come from like a footballing background. Uh, you got family members also. One of your cousins used to play for Newcastle, didn't he?
Yes.
And he's playing in France at the moment. Is that right?
Yeah, the moment is playing in France, but obviously even in France, the football is stopped as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And I've just seen how good you really are. I've not played with you, but I've actually seen some videos of you. Actually, we're good friends. And
yeah,
for the viewers, it was actually amazing how we actually met. Our first time we ever met. Musa will go more into detail how we bumped into each other and how his story began with us brothers in Woking.
yeah. The way the way we meet was at the gym actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. It was
Masha.
nice. Yeah, mashallah. Yeah, I remember like it was yesterday.
And how did that whole experience go? I mean, from you met from the gym, and then how you carried it on. We had you came to my house, wasn't it? A day later, and then from then onwards, we got more interactive. And if you share your experience, and with the gatherings, we have weekly gatherings, get-togethers, and if you could
Yeah,
mention to the viewers.
yeah. I have to thank God for this, because obviously I come to working And when I was at working, most of the time I just play football, go home, gym, go home. And alhamdulillah, I met you at the gym. And from there, it's been quite a nice story, just from the gathering, from, even after football, meeting with people, was nice actually, you know.
Mashallah. And Musa, with the gatherings, WhatsApp, you came to me. You said you're missing something. You go, I'm here, but I'm missing the connection. I want to connect with with God, with the Almighty. And how has this path benefited yourself since you've come
Yeah,
in? And
I think help a lot, It's how to say in English, but it's like for the faith in God, Until we believe in God, we've got to faith God, and every time I meet Him, every Saturday, and especially the book you give me as well, I'm just working on the book, especially now I've got more time, and it's been a blessing, from even in my football, I feel like it's helping me as well. And you told me this before as well, so I
yeah,
remember.
I I.
Yeah.
I remember that when we met and you go that it's not going so well at football, and since that you became on the path, you're connecting more to the
Exactly.
Lord. Your
Exactly.
football, your stats, everything just getting better and better and better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you were
Exactly.
enjoying life more as well, weren't you? You were saying, if you could
Yeah,
mention to let people know.
yeah, everything changed, Everything start going in a good direction, the positive direction, you know. That's why I invite all the brother to the who can do the course, because it's help everyone in the life.
Yeah, self purification
Yeah.
course. Yeah, and Musa, so we're gonna ask you some questions now about your footballing career. So one of the first and the main question is mainly asking interviews by any athlete or sports personalities. How did your footballing career actually begin? How did it all start?
My football, it starts maybe I think it's when I was 8 or 9 years old. Obviously, when I was young, I used to go to watch my older brother play football. He was a really good footballer, so every weekend I was with him, watching his game, tournament, everything, and that's how I started getting involved in football. And so I started playing what, 8, 9, play for my hometown. It was a small club, and after I went to better club, and it's how I start like this. At the start, I was playing football just because I like football. I
Yeah,
didn't have any intention to become a professional player or anything. You know, this is the time when I went older, then I said like, I
so
become more passionate and wanted
yeah.
to make my main work.
And what qualities would you say that a footballer needs to succeed in the footballing career, Musa? Give
Yeah,
like some bullet points, main the youngsters especially who want to become professional footballer. What advice would you give them to succeed in life in football?
first, I think for me, first you have to be disciplined. You know, you need to get some discipline because obviously, especially when you're young, there's too many things around to keep you out. Of the right path. So for me, first thing is discipline, and you know, I think all the football player, everyone know how to play football. Everyone got quality to play football, but it's not everyone who become professional player. And I think this is because of the mind. You see, mentally, I think even before physically, you have to be strong mentally, and it all
Yeah,
starts from there. If your mind is right, everything is mind everything is right in your mind, in your heart, and the legs follow. The body follow.
yeah,
Uh, so the first thing I would say to the young players who want to be pro, it's concentrate first on your head, on your mind, on your heart, you know, and the rest will follow.
And Musa, how in Woking, as you're probably I think so. You are the only Muslim player in your team, right?
Yeah.
So how's everything? How's your management with you regarding with certain requirements when it comes to catering, like food? You need to eat halal. You need prayer time, and there's certain other things which as a Muslim you have requirements. And how's the Woking Football Club facilitating all this and the management?
At Woking Football Club, it's they make the life easy for me, Even sometimes Saturday when I want to play the whole before games, when it's time, and they give me a room where I can go and pray. So that's what's happened. And for the food as well, they know I'm not eating. I'm only eating halal. I'm not drinking anything. So every time they bring some food for me, they try to bring, if not halal, but they will just bring maybe fish or vegetable, you know. And I have to thank them for this because they just I could be somewhere else where you know it, they make my life difficult, but it's at working. Alhamdulillah, it's completely the opposite.
It's a blessing. We have good people in working. People in working are nice.
Exactly.
Nice, brilliant. And this is a question from some person, a random person. Because what is the craziest thing a fan has done for you in the past? What's the craziest thing a fan has done for you in the past? Quite a tricky question.
Craziest thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I think I never experienced some crazy things from the fans.
Yeah.
I feel maybe I'm not someone really connected to life on internet on everything, so I
Yeah.
don't see even when most of people talk about me or I don't really know it.
Yeah.
But I would say the nicest thing I received it from a kid. There is a mother who sent me a picture of the room of his kid, and he had my shirt with pictures of me on the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
He said, and she said, I'm an example for him. He just want to be like me, like as a football player, and so I think it's
I
nice to hear.
I and my kids, we call you the BFG, big friendly giant. I mean, when we first met, and you walked up to me, and I was thinking, who's this big guy, 6'4" or something, and I was a bit intimidated actually, and built like all cut up, walking up to me in the gym, and he just smiled at me, and said, hi, and we got chatting, and then I've been lucky enough to train with Musa as well. Actually, a very strong guy. So he's dedicated. Just don't look at him sitting and performing well on the pitch. A lot of hard work he's putting in. I've trained with him. He's training very hard every day, pretty much. Apart from your training day, and actually even on the training days, you should go. So you should train twice a day. So in the morning on the Wednesday, wasn't it? You would train in the gym, and then you would be training in Kingston, where your Woking football training ground is, isn't it? You should train.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
Saturday games, and sometimes you would have another league game, and Musa would always saying to me like, "Now I need to be training." And
yeah.
I remember when I offered you some food, and he took like a morsel or two, and he goes, "That's it." And I was thinking, you need to eat more. Just tell people about your diet, how you're eating as well.
Yeah. But first, I've been lucky to train with you as well. Because you're a really, really hard worker. Especially when you come to do some marathon, everything. I've not been lucky to do marathon with you. I'm not sure if I'm ready for it, to be honest, but
No,
maybe
you'll be fine. If I
yeah.
could do it, I mean, we'll definitely make good cycling partners. It's a bit less painful on the body,
But
the joints.
I heard from the other brothers that it's difficult to do marathon with you or do some running with you, you know.
It's good. It's all in the mind, like you said. But I'm not
Yeah,
the fittest, but my mind is very strong. You could run and run, or you could do anything. It's your limit. Your limit is like 40% of your body. The mind is wanting more. So the mind, once you get to a stage when you're about to break down, that's 40%. Then you go more. And this is in the gym, as you can see some pictures, Brother Musa and myself after gym session. And Musa, who's your role model in the footballing world?
in a football, I would say maybe Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, because just the way he's dedicated and the way he walk, you know, it's someone who just work hard, you know. He's talented and he just works so hard and he makes sure everything is on point, the way he eats, the way he trains, the way he rests, you know, and he just want to be the best, you know, and I see myself a bit similar in terms of mentality. You know? So I think that's the role model for me, so I can identify myself to.
And who do you say is the best Muslim defender in the world at the moment?
Muslim defender, I would say Kalidou Koulibaly. He played for Napoli, center back from Napoli. He's from Senegal, and I
Okay.
think he's one of the best in the world right now. He's easy in the top 3 or 4 best defender in the world.
And do you see him coming to the Premiership in the near future?
I know every year people try to sign him, and because he's really expensive and he's comfortable in Italy. So, but I know that is Liverpool and I think Manchester City and Manchester United they want to sign him, but I don't know what's gonna happen. It would be nice to see him in Premiership actually. You know?
That's good. And Musa, how do you find football in England compared to France? So it must be completely different, the environment and everything, and the style of play. You played in
No,
France and here.
before I come to England, you know, football in France is the main sport. You know, we love football. We play football every time. You know, you can't even compare to the other sports. So, and when I come to England, I realized that football was nothing compared to England. You know, hey, it's crazy. It's crazy how people live for football. You know, everyone is connected to football. You know,
Football is just even my kids like, even though we are Asian background, naturally they're good at cricket, but they got the passion and the love for football. They
yeah,
just said, Dad, we want football. We don't want anything else. Football.
yeah,
So sleep football,
football
eat
is
football, drink football.
yeah, football is absolutely crazy in England. The way people love football. Wow. Even me, when it was the first time I come to England, I saw that I was shocked. Yeah.
And more, and also outside of the footballing world, what do you actually do in your spare time?
Spare time, when I've got time, I'm trying to stay connected with my family. I read books, like I like to, I try to be better in a religion way. So
Yeah.
that's what I want to do. I just look lot of video, from some share from Imam. That's what I like to do, especially one of my really good friends is Imam now, so I speak a lot to him. That's what I like to do. Or if not this, I just like Netflix. I don't go out a lot. I don't go out a lot. So
That's why
especially
you're keeping so well fit, and you're sleeping well, you're eating well, you're training well, and that's why you're performing really well.
exactly that's right.
Musa, have you experienced any racism in football, whether it's your religion or your color?
Like I always said, like I feel like I've not like I can't say I've been victim of racism. This never happened, you know, especially in England. But I still feel it's harder to succeed sometimes in some way when you're black people, you know. And I had a feeling, you know, at few places I've been like maybe they're not racist, but it just make it more difficult when you're black. It's like you have to work twice harder than someone else, you know.
You got to basically stand out by a margin. So right, you'll be better, but if there's only a slight difference, you won't get prioritized.
Exactly.
Basically,
Exactly. More, you know, I had this feeling that few places I've been, you know. But most of the players are not been didn't see any
yeah.
racism or anything. You know, it's completely the opposite, you know, just everyone is together, especially in England.
And Musa, once you retire, so you're pretty much at your peak of your footballing career now, aren't you? So you
Yes.
got what, say another 4 or 5 years before you retire, you reckon?
I would say 6 years before
Yeah,
retirement.
because football playing at the level you're playing, you have to be super fit to play at 35, 36. Because if you're not fit, super fit, you'd probably have to retire at 32, 33, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You
And
really get tested. So what do you see yourself doing after retirement?
after retirement, you know, I've got business with my brother. You know, we've got a business, car business. You know, and there's few things I want to do. You know, in France, but I'm not 100% sure. I want to open something like a coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
definitely.
a
I like my
restaurant.
coffee. I like coffee. You gotta open a coffee shop. I love my coffee and my pastries. Yeah, definitely. I'll be your main customer.
So I will do it. I will do it just for to make sure I see you more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but no, otherwise I've got few other things in my head, but it's not really concrete yet. You
And if you want a footballer, Musa, so right now you're at peak of your career, you're doing well. But if you want a footballer, what would you actually be doing now? What would you see?
If I was,
So outside of football, if you want playing football now as a job
yeah,
or life, what would you be doing as job wise?
I don't know. You know, I never think about something else. You know,
Mm.
this never happened. You know, I've been in football since I'm so young. You know, so even at school when I had my diploma, I just stopped and I had to stop. I had to choose between football and school, and I went to football. So I don't know. I remember my cousin 2 years ago. He told me, you know, what's happening if football doesn't work? I said it's gonna work, but you need to think about something else, you know. So I just kept on football, and alhamdulillah, I'm where I am, and I feel like there's a time for everything. Once football is finished, it's finished. You know, I won't have any regret or thinking, oh, football. No, I'll be happy actually. You know, it's a great report, and it's a great experience.
So how would you treat football now? I mean, you're a professional footballer, so you could only speak for yourself. Do you treat it as a job? Do you treat it as a hobby, a passion, something you know? I mean, how do you treat it?
I treat it as a job, you know, a job, and I think I'm lucky to do a job that I like, you know.
That's
Most of people do a job that they don't like the job, or it's not what they were thinking, you know. And I'm really lucky to do this job, and obviously I like it. Right now, right now there's no football, and I miss it, you know. So I can say it's more than a job. I like football. It's not like before when it was a passion or now maybe because I've been there for so long, this is my job. I like my job. I'm happy to do this job. I will do this job for as long as possible.
Yeah.
That's, yeah,
Until the body really can handle it. And
yeah.
relating to injuries and things like this, have you had any like big major injuries? You probably had minor injuries where you have to sit out, not play.
Yeah, just like when I was at start at my second year at Barrow, and I started with an injury, hamstring injury, and every time I was playing, like I could play 4, 6 games, 7 games, and got injured again at the same place. Even when I come to walking, the injury was still there. So they sent me to see Arsenal physio. So I went to see Arsenal physio. It helped me a lot, and now I think now it's fine now. But I would say like for 2 years it was a bit difficult, you know. But now Alhamdulillah I'm fine. But yeah, injury you have to manage it. You have to. It's the way you care about your body. It's the way you rest. It's the way you eat. The way you train. I think it's me. I was going too far. Maybe I was going too far. That's what I've been told. So mm,
And how do you find life in Woking, Musa? How long have you been living in Woking?
I've been living in Woking since July. I think since July. Then Alhamdulillah, I'm happy. I'm really happy. I think it's the best place I've been since I'm in England. I think maybe because I meet, I meet you, brothers, Shabraz, Tabriz, so it make it easier. And but apart from this, you know, I I really enjoy living in Woking. There's no doubt about this. Mm, even the people, the way the town is, there's town center, there's everything you need in Woking. So, and it's a nice town as well.
And Musa, are you in contact with any big name footballers? Do you have any close contact with them? Are you always uh, socializing, chatting with them, or getting any advice, tips regarding how to perform better, how to get your fitness up?
No, I would say I'm in contact with footballers, but not at my level. Or there's a footballer who comes from the same town as me, and now he's playing for Offenheim. Isaac Belfodil. But otherwise, most of my friends are not like in. Most of them don't even play football. They play football for fun, but they are not really involved in football.
And Musa, how did your family go about it when you decided to take up a footballing career? They must have said like, "Why are you going to waste your time? Football, you're not going to make a career." You must have got a lot of negative feedback as well.
I had both, especially with my father. My father was different because he used to push me every time. When I didn't have school, I remember he used to wake up me in the morning and told me to go run. And I was going outside running, and he was watching me to make sure I do my run properly. And he used to always push me, push me, push me. And when I said, obviously, it's my father and my mother who just, you know, make me realize that I can do much things with football. I can help my family, and that's why they used to push me a lot. And in the other side, I had people I would say who didn't believe in me. Who just said like, "Man, you didn't play football or you're not gonna make it." Look at one players in a million people who actually become professional. If you just concentrate on something else. So I had both.
What advice would you give to the youth, Musa, on to move forward in the footballing career? I think I've asked you this, but something to add on a bit more.
I think it's the same advice I would give for anything else they want to do or to achieve. They have to be dedicated, you know. You have to really believe it, you know, you have to believe it. You know, it can be football, it can be something else, but everything you do and everything you want to start doing, you have to really believe it and do it like over 100%, you know. 100% is good, but you have to do it over 100%, give all the chance possible, you know. That's how I say.
And it must be days that when you're getting bad games, it's not going well for you. And how do you cope or how do you adapt when you're not performing well, especially when you got big games?
Yeah. That's why I train hard and make sure everything is alright because I don't want to face this feeling, you know. And obviously sometimes it happens because we're just human. But when this happens, to be honest, it makes me really down, you know. You know, because I think a lot, and I go home, I think about my game, I think about all the things I've done bad, and they affect me a lot. But you know, after you realize, I spoke with my friend, and I've got a good friend near me who just make sure I keep my head up, and then same time, you know, you have to look around. You know, there's people with no food. You know, there's people with no food. There's people who live in a war country. You know, if you look all over the world, it's not like you can't complain because everyone got his problem, no matter which level, you know. But I feel like when you look around, there's no need to it's only football, you know.
Do you feel pressure beginning of a match, right? Especially if it's a big game, like you got a cup game, knockout stage now. So it's do or die situation. You win, you move to the next day. You lose, that's it, you're out.
Yeah, yeah, you feel pressure, but it's a nice pressure. You know, there's some pressure who keep you out for having a good game, you know. But this is a pressure I like, you know. When you wake up, you think about this. You know you think you have to do everything right because when this day come, you make sure you have to make sure you're ready. And when the game starts, you feel this pressure a bit, you know. You look around, look at all the fans, all the noise, and obviously before every game, I make some dua and everything, and it just as soon as I make my dua, it just relax my body every time, you know, and just and then just go and play.
And how important is the prophetic part which you've taken on now, Musa, in your life?
Everything, you know, it's everything. It's above football. It's above everything, you know, everything. It's what keep us alive. It's what we're here for, you know. It's what we're here for. So it's everything, and I have to thank God every day, you know. I pray, I thank God every day, you know, when I look at my life, when I look at everything, every single day, I'm eating, you know, I'm sleeping well, I've got family, I've got kids, I've got, you know, and all this be here for thanks to God, you know. He's even without him, there won't be any football, you know. And even for me, like I've been some places in my head where I was on my own. I was feeling alone, you know, and I feel like only God was there with me, and He was enough for me, and He's still enough for me. You know?
And what advice would you give to the young Muslim footballers or who want to become footballers?
Become
What would
football.
you say to them? Because they forget the faith and they'll just think of football, money, and fame. And when
Never,
I've spoken to you, and you're complete opposite. You know, you're not interested in fame or the money. Just like you do it, you for the passion, like a job.
yeah. I think all these things, the fame, the money, everything you can get with football, it's what can destroy your life. You know, It's what can destroy your life, your faith, your connection with Islam or with your religion, And what I would say, it's never ever put football above your religion or above God, Because sometimes we playing football, and when we start getting money, we start getting good things, and we start getting positive stuff in our life, and we kind of forget, where this comes from, We kind of forget
Yeah.
this comes from God, we think about what we've got, but not who brings this to us. And I think this is really, really, really dangerous because you can lose everything.
And with football, Musa, as you know, there's a lot of you'll probably know more, but a lot of these footballers, they're going through a lot of depression. I was reading about it. It's like 1 out of every 3 footballer has
Yeah,
depression, and that took me back. I was thinking, like, these big name for Premiership and these world class players, even they're going through depression. And what is it? Why is it like this?
I think I think it's the pressure, I think it's the pressure and what other football bring, it's just like you're having a bad game or a few bad game, or you get injuries, and it changed everything. You can, if you get injured and let's say you've got 1 year left in your contract, you get injured, then you're not signing a new contract, and because you was injured, some other team won't really sign you, and it's like it's your job. So no sign you, no money. Some people got some house to pay, mortgage or anything. There's this part and there's the other part where it just in your head, it's just in your head where football is affecting you when you put too much in like in your head, like when you, let's say, you love football too much, you know like you live in like football, it's everything. When you live in like something is everything, and you lose this thing, obviously you're gonna be in depression, or you're gonna be bad. you know so and I've not been in depression, but you know the way I've been injured after injury, I think it put me in a bad place in my head. But I feel like depression is really bad, and unfortunately it's happened a lot in football.
Yeah, Musa, a couple of more questions before I leave you to Brother Tere's party. We've got so many more questions. People are being bombarded me with messages as well, but just a couple of more questions. And so, one question is, what's the most memorable match you ever played in?
Number of matches, I would say the FA Cup a few years ago when I was at Barrow. I would say the FA Cup against Bristol Rovers. We were losing 1-0 and we lost 2-1. That's the first one, and there's the second one. The second one is the playoff final last season at Woking. Because this year, the season, I was having a bad season because of injury. I wasn't playing, and I come back, and the manager told me, like, I'm not fit enough. I have to go on loan. So, he went from the worst season I had to finish as one of the best.
And one final message you have for the youth, Musa. What message could you give to the youth? Something which will have an effect and something they could take on for the rest of their sporting careers.
God, you have to believe in God. You have to believe in God. You have to have faith in God. You have to trust God. It's the only, it's what's gonna change your life or make it better or everything. When you've got this, the rest is easy. It's not complicated. That's what I think. If there's one advice I would give, it's this one.
Jazakallah, thank you very much, Brother Musa, for your time. I will pass you over to Brother Tabriz. Please, brothers, sisters, people out there, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Living with Purpose. Also follow us on Facebook for more of these programs, interviews with sporting personalities and many other personalities. Thanks for your time, Musa. Much
Thank you.
appreciated.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Musa.
Alaikum salam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Brother Musa, Jazakallah again for giving us your time, especially you in France with the time difference and with the family, so very much appreciated. And I'm getting some comments because people know, and I think I told you, that I've got no clue about football. So it was just as well. It was just as well that Allah chose you to meet Brother Shaukat and not me. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation, and you wouldn't be our celebrity, our local Saturday gatherings. You know. In fact, some of my friends are amazed when I sent the poster that we're interviewing a professional footballer. They're like, "What do you know about football?" You know. So I said, "Don't worry. The football side of things is going to be covered by Brother Shaukat. I'm going to, inshallah, talk more about the spirituality side of things. You know."
Yeah.
And Alhamdulillah, I was very humbled when we first met at Brother Shokat's house. You know, like I said, I've never been to a football game, and you were the first football player and probably the last player that I'll, meet in my life. But I was amazed at how humble you are, and you always talk about the deen, about having God fearing, bringing Allah, leaving Allah, and I was amazed. And just for our viewers, the book that. I don't know if they can see, the path that Brother Musa is following is the journey to the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and following the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And do you remember when you saw this book at Brother Shokat's house? It was a few months ago now, wasn't it?
I remember. You know, obviously I never seen it before, so I was a bit surprised, but after when you guys explained me, you know, make it easier, and you want when you explain what's in the book, and you know that this book can only make you better.
That's it. I mean, I remember because you were saying that in France there's not that much spirituality compared to in the UK. We were having a conversation about that, and even to be honest with you, Brother Musa, even here, I'm talking about my own journey. It can be very confusing, you know, because there's so much knowledge out there. You just have to go on Google, and
exactly.
and you know, it's bombarded. You know, it's a crazy world out there. How are you finding the path? How easy are you finding the path to put in your because you're mashallah, you're a professional footballer, and sometimes people shy away when you mention that we're on a path trying to get close to Allah Ta'ala. They're thinking, but I work in an office environment, I work with non-Muslims, I live in the West, I can't grow a beard, I can't follow the Sunnah. How are you finding it? How are you?
Me, I think it's very easy. I don't know if it's England or not, but here I find it like easy to follow the path, the Sunnah and everything, and I never have any problem, like I said to Shokot before. If I want to go and pray, they give me a room to pray, and I never hide what I am or what I believe in, and compared to France, in France there's some, when you go to your job or you do something, you can't do anything, you have to wait until you go home to pray and to do, I think it's more difficult, and I find it easier in England, but obviously I've been there like for a long time, but I've not born here or grow up here, so maybe I don't see at the same way as other English people, other Muslim people, let's say, because I'm compared to France, but here for the other I don't know how it is.
Because it's a shame that we planned and Allah planned that. Would this been your first Ramadan in the UK in Woking? Would this been is this if you stayed here? Would it been your first one here, or were you there last year?
No, every Ramadan, all of them, I done them in UK.
You've done them in the UK, okay.
Yeah.
Because we normally have a,
This one since 10 years is the first one I do it in France. You know.
in France, I mean, Alhamdulillah, I was going to say normally we have a very it's very spiritual, especially in Woking. You know, like you attend our Saturday gatherings, mashallah, and I have to take my hat off. You know, you're a regular. You after a game you come on, and I suppose it's partly because you're a disciplined man. You know, because I'm amazed. You know how you sacrifice your Saturday night and you come and spend with the brothers. How are you finding that? How is that helping you on your journey to Allah? You know.
Yeah, it's just every time you're getting close to Allah, it can only make you better. You know, it makes your life better and make you a better human being. You know, and I'm always exciting to after football to go and to come to the gathering. You know, because I know what this brings to my life. You know, to my life, my spirituality, and everything. You know, it's only positive. And if you want to be a better man, you know, than what you were yesterday, you know, you always come 100%, you know, 100%. So
And do you? It might be a challenging question, but is there anything in particular that you like or you don't like, or about because like I said, mashallah, you're a regular. What advice would you give? For example, we're talking about gatherings. We have lots of viewers. I mean, first of all, there's mashallah quite a few comments. You know, there's a lot of comments saying mashallah, subhanallah. You know, somebody loves coffee too. So if it all fails, maybe you and Brother Shokut should open up a coffee shop in Woking. You know.
yeah,
But you know, we keep talking about gatherings or mention gatherings becomes. Can you maybe explain the format or what actually happens at these gatherings? Because some people are used to going to gatherings where they sit for hours and hours or they do long zikr, you know. So I want the viewers to hear from you what actually happens at these gatherings and
me,
why you find it beneficial.
what's happened to me during the gathering, I feel so peaceful, you know. And I feel so peaceful, and when there's a recitation, I feel something, you know, something in my body, something really strong, you know. And I always, when I leave the gathering, I leave. Every time I left feeling so good, you know. And yeah, I can't explain this sensation, but I would say mashallah, it's beautiful, you know. And the thing is, before I met Shokot, you know, obviously I was in walking and I don't know people in walking, you know, I don't know people in walking. I just go home, train, like I said, and I was asking God like to elevate my faith, my religion, my knowledge, my everything, you know. And after this, I went to the gym and I met Shukr, you know. And
You know,
that's why Subhanallah, every time I say Subhanallah, you know, it's amazing the way I meet him, you know. And yeah.
Brother Musa, you know they say, and it's so true, because you yourself are giving a prime example. They say you walk to Allah, He runs to you, you know, and you yourself called Allah with a sincere heart, and look, you ended up meeting Brother Shaukat in the gym. From all the places, you didn't meet him at the mosque, you didn't meet him at,
Yeah,
could have been anywhere, but at the gym, the two things that you brothers have in common, one of the two, you know,
exactly.
and
And the gym is a place I'm a lot, you know.
uh,
So and yeah, I just left my house, went to the gym, trained hard, and he was doing some exercise. I think he was doing some abs, and it was some place next to him, so I come to sit next to him to do some abs, and he just say hi, and he say salam alaikum, and he start from here, and he just told me he give me his number and everything, it's been so nice. And when we meet again was at the gathering, that's the first day I come to the gathering when I meet you as well. And when story like this, I think bring me even closer to God. It is so the way things happen, it's amazing. Even today, think about it, it's a bit emotional the way it's happened, for me.
No, mashallah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is how it happened for me, because basically, I was in search with one of my close friends. We were attending various classes, various zikr gatherings, and jumping up and down on some of them and doing long videos. And so in the classes we were getting the knowledge, but we weren't getting the juice of the religion, the actual that connection, and also you couldn't measure yourself. Am I getting close to Allah or not? How can I put this, the knowledge I'm retaining, how can I put this into my everyday life?
Exactly.
And with this methodology, I mean, because for yourself, mashallah, you're at the early stages. I mean, I don't know whether it's too early to ask you this question, or maybe being a bit unfair, but have you found, because you're following the first stage, the organs, have you found, has that made any difference in your dealing with the creation, with the last one of those creation?
Of course, 100% make a difference. You know, make a difference. It make the deal more stronger, if I can say. 100%. I feel a difference like by following only the first page when there's much more to come. You know,
Right.
and it's a bit sad that we had to stop, because of what's happened. Yeah.
But inshallah, brother Musa, you don't need to be sad, because we have every Sunday, tomorrow, actually 1:30, brother Tahir, Ustad Tahir, who's one of our senior stars in Woking, they do a session on this Facebook, Fasting for Purpose. And for the viewers as well who are watching, they elaborate more about the prophetic path course. And because Alhamdulillah, we've got viewers not just in Woking, we've got viewers, globally watching yourself. What we keep talking about the course is the turning closer to Allah and following Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's footsteps. And basically, in a nutshell, how to be a better Muslim. Not even just a Muslim, how to be a better human being. The idea is that,
Exactly.
unfortunately, we don't have time. I don't have I'm poorly organised, otherwise you probably can't see. But the idea is that
Yeah.
you control your tongue, you're not backbiting, you're eating lawfully, you're not going to unlawful places, and you're not hurting anybody. Basically, wherever you are, what the course does at the end of it, you're a flower. Wherever you go, you're leaving a flower behind. And
Exactly.
and how are you finding the? Because I remember what I was shocked, and you, brother Shoka, touched on it, is how many footballers are depressed. You know.
Yes.
And I remember when I was having coffee there, and I nearly spilled my coffee after hearing 1 in 3. Because we think, even me, I'm not a footballer, but or follow football, but I follow how much money these guys earn. So we're thinking,
Yeah.
the money, the life they have, they'll be happy, but they're more
Yeah.
depressed than your normal person.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly. It's crazy. It just show you that money is not enough. You know, it's not about money. In this world, you can have all the money you want. It's not gonna help you. It just. I think it's because people see the other side of football. The side when football players play football, and maybe money, car, or anything else. But deeply, what's happening in the people's head, it's a bit different. And I think the best way to control your mind and not get into depression is just put your trust in Allah. Put put your trust in God, and when you put your trust in God, but really from the heart, not just saying, "Oh, I believe in God, I trust God." No, you have to feel it from your heart, and believe me, you won't be scared of anything, or think about anything else in your head.
MashaAllah. The other thing, Brother Musa, like you said, unfortunately, you had to physically the gatherings are stopped, so you yourself has not been able to be fully exposed to other deeper connections, gatherings that we hold as well. We mentioned doing dua with your heart. We do a session where we call it it's a muraqabah dua. You're connecting with Allah Ta'ala and you're making dua with your heart. Our Ustad Sajid, mashallah, he normally leads these.
Yeah.
He's been with the Sheikh Ahmad Dabar, the teacher of this course, for many years now. He's travelled with them exclusively, and and that's where a lot of people find peace in that.
Yeah.
When they learn the methodology of how to connect to Allah, because nobody else can help us but Allah. We all know that, God.
Yeah.
So
You remember. It make you remember. Sometimes you kind of forget. What's going on in this life, but that's why I invite everyone to come to the gathering, because the impact is making in your life. It's just unbelievable.
But Musa, I'm not going to take more of your time because like I said, there is a time difference, and you've not, our fast. We've still got another 40 minutes to go or so, but yours is already open, hasn't it? Your fast in the France.
Yeah, it's nearly the time now.
Nearly the time now. So
Yeah.
I will say to you, Jazakallah again from the team at Living with Purpose. We very much look forward to seeing you in person soon, inshallah. Allah make it easy for all of us and for yourself. And alhamdulillah, it's been a lot of young viewers. And message to them is that basically you heard from a professional footballer. If, this if you want success in this life and the hereafter, is find a way of connecting to Allah Ta'ala. And one of the things Brother Musa has invited people invoking to the gatherings, and alhamdulillah, it's open to everybody. These gatherings, they don't cost. It doesn't matter if you know me or Brother Shawkat. Even if you don't know us, you're more than welcome. You can message us on the Facebook or on the mobile, and we can let you know when they start. But like I said, in the meantime, the gatherings, we have this channel here, so we can keep in touch with people, serve Allah's creation, and not just the spirituality, but other things, health, charity, a lot of things that we're covering on this channel, because Islam is all a complete way of life. And tomorrow especially, I encourage everybody to tune in at 1:30, because alhamdulillah, we're halfway through Ramadan now. Have we actually achieved the purpose? That's the question you have to ask, because Ramadan is, they say it's like if you're a deep sea diver, you go into the sea. Ramadan is like a sea to collect the jewels. Have we actually collecting the jewels? That's the question. Allah doesn't just want us to fast with our stomach. That's not the purpose of it. So before we go, Brother Musa, we've got one of your biggest fans. He's the regular at our gathering. He's going to end this with a duck, inshallah. So I thank you, and I thank our viewers. Inshallah, see you soon. Inshallah.
Salatullah, salamullah, ala taha rasulillah. Salatullah, salamullah, ala yasin habibillah. Tawassalna bi bismillah, wa bil hadi rasulillah, wa kulli mujahidin lillah. بأحد يا الله إلهي سلم الأمة من الآفات والنقمة ومن هم ومن غمة بأحد البدر يا الله. صلاة الله سلام الله على طه رسول أحد قادر يا الله وكم من رحمة حصلت وكم من ذلة حصلت وكم من نعمة فصلت بأحد قادر يا الله صلاة الله سلام الله على طه رسول الله صلاة الله سلام الله على ياسين حبيب الله على ياسين حبيب الله على ياسين حبيب الله صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله